Hey everybody, today I just want to give you a quick overview of what I'm doing for this weekend's project, and it's basically a virtual webcam for Linux. The idea is I want to be able to do stuff with AI, but there aren't really any products that cater to my needs. There's stuff I can buy on a Mac. I actually bought a Mac just to play with some of this stuff, and I didn't like it, and it's an extra computer. Whatever. So, and I got a Windows machine. I have plenty of extra stuff, but I live in Linux. This is where I want to be. I want a product that's native to my experience. So what I did was I deconstructed a lot of stuff I saw around. I figured out how it worked, and I sort of just sat down and figured out what I needed to do to implement my own setup. And the very first thing I needed was a virtual camera, right? And a virtual camera is basically a middleman. Your Zoom, your Webex, your computer just sees this virtual camera as its input device instead of your webcam. And what that does is it gives you a way to manipulate anything. And the virtual cam itself actually reads from whatever you want. It could read from a picture, a file, a stream, another webcam. It could read from OBS. So the idea behind it is I now have a capacity to manipulate my imagery however I want. And with that, I created the virtual camera framework, which is over here. Oh, hold on, right here. There's a bunch of stuff going on right here. It's a ton of files, and I got it successfully working. I was able to pipe through the original video from the camera directly to my virtual cam and then pipe it through OBS. And then I started adding layers. So I added face tracking with media pipe and face mesh. So if you can see up here in the corner, you can see that my eyes are being cut out. And that's an eye detect face mesh operation so that I could see where my eyes are. So I could do eye tracking. All right. There's a couple of coordinates down here. I've actually got an AI model applied. So I'm doing head tracking to find my face. I'm doing eye tracking to find my eyes. I'm applying an AI model to my face region, and then I am rewriting my eyes to basically give you what NVIDIA broadcasts give you for free, right? It gives you the ability to retrack your eyes. Now, this isn't perfect. It's a beginner's thing, but I've got the components in place to make it better, right? And so if you see right here, let me find all of these fun things. So I've got this control. It's a little OpenCV window, and you can see this little round circle right here. I can literally just press the arrows, and like that's a reset. I press up, and look, oh, my eyes are moving. Now it's not great, it's not perfect. Obviously, we want to do an upsample or a rewrite or stuff like that. We need to do absolute positioning based on the current vector of the head, based on where you want it to look. So basically, we need to say, hey, you're looking at this spot, and this is the spot your eyes are at, and we need to then interpolate that to match. So, and then there needs to be a weighted average, so when your eyes move back and forth. This is all semantics. First, we need the capacity to track, replace, like the fundamental basics before we start adding the really pretty stuff. But the idea is, now with these controls, I can just change my eyes. I mean, I could replace them with anything. Robot eyes, regular eyes, bullets. It doesn't matter. The idea is now I now have the ability for AI to replace my eyes. Now the next step is, okay, all right, well this eye tracking model, I don't really like it all that much, but I like the idea of what it does. The very next thing is background removal, and then, control net and stable diffusion with turbo diffusion, so I can rewrite the entire image on the fly with some sort of consistency. Now you're going to need like a nice video card to do this. I don't think you're doing this with anything less than like a 3090 or a 4080. I have a bunch of 4090s, so I'm GPU rich for these kind of experiments, so it's not a problem for me. This isn't something you'd invest in at home unless you were really doing something crazy with like streaming or something. But outside of that, I think this is cool. This is the first step. I'm not going to put the model on GitHub yet because it's got a lot to go, but I'm going to put the source code on GitHub, and then we can go from there. Hopefully by the end of this week, I will have full integration using the Stable Diffusion Turbo model without any other code. I'm not talking about no Automatic 11, no Comfy UI. I'm just going to run the model directly from the Python streaming service, and I'm just going to hijack the webcam, and then we'll see what goes from there. That's it, guys. Thanks for your time.